Hello guys, how's it going? Paid for some premium themes today. I'm just kind of testing it out, like trying to balance the audio and stuff. Not sure how all these things work. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. I want to make the music not so loud. Test the volume. I have Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Can you guys hear the music? I don't want to make the music like too loud, but then like... How was everyone's Black Friday? Did you guys buy anything? Me in Canada, Black Friday, there's like nothing else to buy. It's like not really sales going on in Canada. It's like mostly for the States. I don't know when we started celebrating it, but like, I feel like there's not that many things to buy here. I wanted to buy something expensive for some reason, because like, you know, I just wanted to, but the music is nice. Oh, thank you. Okay. Is it too loud, the music? No? Everything looks good, except the chat box looks kind of small. I can't really read it. Chat box looks kind of squished, doesn't it? Alright, so someone asked, could it be I have sleep? Well, no. Teo has a meaning by itself, okay, but okay, so Teo has a meaning by itself, but then yadeo, it means need to in English, need to. So I'll show you some like more sentences, okay? I'm probably not gonna like keep on writing these sentences, but 자야돼요, this is I need to sleep, okay? So watch what happens if I change this front part right here. 먹어. So that becomes I need to eat. I need to eat, okay? So let's try something else. Like, how about like 가야 돼요. I need to go. I need to go. Oh wait, what? Oh, it was a typo. It could have been I have to sleep. Yeah. So like Teo by itself is a different meaning, but then if it's like yadeo is like kind of one word, you know what I mean? Just like need to in English. Need to in English is like two words, but it behaves like one word, right? Like need to. It's made up of two words, but it's as if it's one word. It's the same in Korean too, so don't be fooled by the space, guys. There's a space between ya and teo, but it's like one word. Need to. Oh, hello guys, more people joining, more people joining. You're still in a pandemic, well, I can't speak, pandemic hotspot, so no shopping in public. Oh wow, where are you from, Christina? I think in Canada the pandemic is dying down now, but then there was like the new like Omicron COVID variant. I don't know what is going on with that, but I think because most people in Canada are like vaccinated, so they don't seem that worried. But yeah, like other countries is like pretty severe. Hello Lita, Lita 안녕하세요. 가야 돼요. Yeah, let's take a look if we have 돼요 by itself though. 돼요 by itself is a completely different meaning. It's like, it means become. It means become. Like, for example, like, it's rarely used in present tense, you know? Like, I become. Like, what's a sentence in English with become? Like, I. How about, can we do became? I think that's like more common. Became. It's the past tense, okay? So became is like, 저는 선생님 됐어요. Like, I teacher became. I became a teacher. 선생님 됐어요. Of course, you don't need to say I, because in Korean we don't really say I, you, he, she, they, and so on and so on. So you can just say 선생님 됐어요. Oh, I want to become a doctor. Okay, so how will we say that? So this would have to be future tense. It's a 될 거예요. Oh no, sorry. I want to become. Not will become, right? 되고 싶어요. So you would say 의사 되고 싶어요. I want to become a doctor. All right. So how would you say I want to become an actor? An actor. Actor is 배우. 저는 배우 되고 싶어요. 되고 싶어요. Oh, welcome, Andy. Yeah, what time is it for you guys there? Here it is 5 o'clock. It says on my YouTube that the best time for me to stream is like 5 a.m. because that's when most of my subscribers are online. But 5 a.m. oh man, because some days I get home at like 12, so I don't know. 5 a.m. seems pretty intense. I want to try one time though, just to see how many viewers I get. I guess most of my viewers are from Asia or something like that. Because 5 a.m. for me would be like, I don't know what time in Asia, +4, and then it would be like 9 p.m. I don't know, I'm not sure. 배우 되고 싶어요. You could have this optional particle 가 here. 배우가 되고 싶어요. It's 8:11 p.m. Oh, you must be from the East Coast, right? Like Toronto or New York or something like that. Yeah, this word 돼요 has many meanings. You can say like 됐어. that means like it's all done. Like testa, it's all done. I guess that's like an expression. It also means to work, like something works. For example, if you say TV가 돼, it's like the TV works. It's like it's not broken. The TV works. You have a 5 a.m. class? What? What kind of class is that? 5 a.m. class? 난 그냥 내가 되고 싶어. Oh yeah, so that's a good example sentence. 난 그냥 되고 싶어. What the? Where did it go? 난 그냥 내가 되고 싶어. It's like I just want to become myself. Become myself. 난 is like a short form of 나는. And then 그냥 is like just. And 내가 is like myself. Myself. I just myself want to become. Want to become. Become want to, I guess. Become want to. Oh my god, your online Korean class is 5 a.m.? That's crazy. Is it like for a school or like is it for some kind of online class? It's at 5 a.m.? It must be like not from your time zone or something. 나는 그냥 내가 되고 싶어. Yeah, this 그냥 is optional, right? So you don't have to put it. 나는 화가 가. The 가 particle is optional, but 화가 means artist. No, not artist, sorry, painter. Painter. 나는 화가가 되고 싶어. I want to become a painter. 나는 예술가. 예술가가. It's strange because these words have a ka in it already, but this ka is not a particle, it's a part of the word. 예술가 is artist. It's a common thing with like professions, like with jobs, they have this ka at the end. This ka, I think, it means something like expert or something, because the word 전문가 means expert. So like anything with this ka is kind of like you're an expert at that field. Like 화가 is for painter, like expert painter, paint expert. You know, 예술가. Art expert, like artist. What else is there for ka? 예술가, 화가. I can't think of anymore. I can't think of anymore. What are we discussing today? Today, actually I have nothing planned today. I don't know what do you guys want to talk about today? I can answer any questions, or like I can just pull up any kind of like grammar list. Oh, let's talk about 가요, guys. 가요. this is a very tricky thing to say in Korean. 을까요? Okay, this means should. Okay, so if I say 저 갈까요? So these things kind of combine into 갈까요? It's like should I go? Should I go? 저 갈까요? 저 갈까요? Or like 저 마실까요? Should I drink? 저 마실까요? Should I drink? Or like should I sleep? 잘까요? Should I sleep? And again, we don't need to say the 저 in Korean. It's just like 잘까요? Should I sleep? Should I go? Should I drink? So this 가요 is tricky because it only works with I. Like you can't say should he sleep or like should he drink? Should he go? You can, but 그는, like 그는 is he, right? So if you want to say should he go? 갈까요? 그는 갈까요? You could say that should he go, but then although it's grammatically correct, culturally it's very rude in Korean to decide for someone else. So it actually doesn't work like that. So like actually you can't say it for any other person other than yourself. So this 가요 is only for I. It's kind of strange, huh? But in English it's like totally fine, right? Like, hey, you should go blah 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 or something like that. Like, for example, like hey, should he come to the party? Like, or something like that. You can say that, right? Like, oh, should he go to school? But then in Korean, you can't use should other than yourself. With 우리 it works too. That's another thing. So it works with I or we. 저는 or 우리는. 우리, yeah. 우리 갈까? Should we go? Yeah. What is the difference between 원해 and 싶어? Oh, so that one's easy. So 원해 is want, and it's actually 고 싶어. 고 싶어 is want to. So 원해 is want, 고 싶어 is want to. Think of how to use these words in English. Like I want ice cream, right? But then want to is like one word. Want to is like one word. Don't be fooled by the space here. It behaves like one word. So you say, I want to ice cream. That doesn't make sense, right? When you say want to, it's like an action. Like I want to go or something. I want to eat. Something like that. Right? So same when Korean. Like I want ice cream. 저 아이스크림 원해요. 원해요. I ice cream want. Okay, I want ice cream. Okay, let me make this a bit smaller so I can fit everything. Okay, but I want to go is like 저 가고 싶어요. Okay, so that is the difference. 원해 is a noun? No, 원해 is a verb. because it's an action word. It's something that you do. Like I want ice cream, I eat ice cream, I buy ice cream, I sell ice cream. You know, it's like an action word, so it's a verb. But want to is a verb, but then they call it a modal verb. It's like, because you can have sentences like I want to want, right? That makes sense. Like I want to want. So it tells you that want to and want are different categories. They're not the same category of word. You can also say this in Korean. 원하고 싶어요. I want to want. I want to want. 원해 follows a noun. Yes, 원해 follows a noun. Cause like in English, right? I want ice cream, right? Always a noun there. Same in Korean. It's just flipped. You just flipped it too. Like you just flipped ice cream and want. It works like every other noun. I mean, every other verb. Like I eat ice cream. I buy ice cream. 저는 아이스크림 원해서 가게 가고 있어요. Perfect sentence. It comes after a noun, right? Yeah. In Korean, yeah, it comes after a noun. Yes, exactly. 원해 is want, and 고 싶어 is want to. They're different words. Very different words. It looks similar, but totally different. Is 다 more formal than 요? Oh, wait. Before I answer that question, I want to also say that 원해요, we don't really use it that much. It's not really want per se. Like it's actually, it sounds closer to desire. Like, you know what I mean? So in Korean, it's not as common to say I want ice cream. We would probably just say 고 싶어요 if you want it. Because 원해요 is more like desire. Yes. 원해 is similar to desire. So it's very strange to say I desire ice cream, right? Like it's not grammatically strange. It's just not common to say that. I desire ice cream. It sounds very dramatic. So 고 싶어요 is more common. And you have to specify in Korean like what you want to do. Like I want to eat it, I want to buy it, I want to get it, something like that. But English is totally fine to say I want this. I want ice cream, right? It means I want to eat ice cream, but yeah, does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Okay, so now for the next question, is 다 more formal than 요? Okay, so especially in K-pop songs, they like to end their sentences with 다, right? For example, like I don't know, like instead of saying 추워, right? They use 춥다 instead. So what the? Wait, make it bigger. Okay, you might know. Oh my god, you might know that 춥다 is the dictionary form, and then this is like the spoken form. Like when you say, "Hey, I'm cold," you say 추워, right? You don't say 춥다. But sometimes, especially in K-pop lyrics, they use the dictionary form like 나는 춥다, right? Uh, we actually do say it in spoken language too. What it means is it's very hard to explain, but it's kind of like when you're talking to yourself and you're not expecting a response, you use the dictionary form. The closest thing in English I would say is like, when you say, "Oh man, it's cold," you're not expecting a kind of response. You're just talking to yourself. Although someone is beside you, so 춥다 is kind of like, "Oh man, it's cold," and then 추워 is like, "I'm cold," or 추워 is like it's cold, or like I'm cold, or whatever. But then this is like you're telling somebody. It's like, "Oh man," this is like, "Oh man, it's cold," but you're not expecting a response. But then 추워 is like, "Hey, it's cold," and then you want the person to talk back to you, like have a conversation. Very hard to explain. Oh my god, very hard to explain. Okay, like another example, like 어렵다. It's like, "Oh man, it's hard, like it's difficult." And then if you say 어려워, it's like it's difficult, but then you're telling a friend that like, "Hey friend, it's really really hard. It's really difficult. What should I do about it?" And you're like asking some kind of suggestion. But this is just like, "Oh man, this is so hard." Like you get some kind of test or exam or something, and you're like, 어렵다, 진짜 어렵다. It's like, "Oh man, this is really hard." You're talking to yourself. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Very difficult to explain this because we don't have this in English. Does it make sense? Oh my god, I'm so happy. If it makes sense, I'm very happy. Yeah, what do you think, Andy? I think in English we do say "oh man," right? When you're talking to yourself. Correct me if I'm wrong. 저 사과를 먹고 싶어요. Is this correct? Perfect. That is absolute perfect sentence. Absolutely perfect. Yeah. What are some lyrics that have this ta ending? Anyone know? Like what are some K-pop lyrics that has this like ta ending? Let's look up lyrics. I think we say like "oh man" or "phew," but we don't typically say it out loud. Kind of whisper to yourself. Yeah, exactly. It's like "oh man, that sucks." Oh, like that, like "oh man, that sucks." If we were to say that in Korean, we would end it with the ta form. It's like "oh man, that sucks." It's like "oh man, that's so far." It's like 되게 멀다. Okay, like 되게 is very, okay? So 되게 멀다. Oh man, it's very far. Okay, we don't have the word "it's" in Korean, so it's just like very far. But then yeah, so the top one would be like, "oh man, it's so far. It's very far. 되게 멀다." Like I don't want to go there. It's so far, right? But then if you say 멀어, the spoken version of it, maybe your friend asked you, "Hey, is it close by or is it far?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's far. It's far. Yeah, you'll probably want to go there earlier." Yeah, 멀어. It's like you're talking to somebody. Yeah, these things are hard to explain. Like things that I think when you get to the intermediate levels of like any language, really, if you get to intermediate levels, it becomes harder and harder to explain because English doesn't have it, and it's kind of like you have to explain using that language to be able to understand. Another really hard to explain but pretty common thing is the ne ending. Have you guys heard this before? The ne ending, like for example, like 비싸네. Okay, like 이거 비싸네. No, why we stick this ne right here? What does this ne mean? Why don't we just say 이거 비싸, this expensive? You say 이거 비싸네, 비싸네. Have you guys heard this before? So like this ne right here, I was thinking about it last night, but it's kind of like when you're not expecting it to be expensive. It's like to your surprise. It's like, oh, this is expensive. I didn't expect that, and you're like kind of shocked about it. So this ne is like kind of you're shocked, if that makes sense. Like, hey, what? This is expensive? It's like, what? Really? I thought it was cheap, you know? Or like 이거, or you can say like 거기. What else is it? 이거 좋네. This good, right? Rather than just saying 이거 좋아, you say 이거 좋네. You end it with a 네. 이거 좋네. It's like, hey, this is pretty good actually. Like I thought it was gonna be bad. It's like unexpectedly. This good. Unexpectedly. How do you spell unexpectedly? Unexpectedly? Is this the correct spelling? Let me Google this. Yes, yes, I spelled it correctly. Unexpectedly, yeah. Does that make sense? 와, 이거 멋있네. Yeah, exactly. That's what you say. 이거 멋있네. 멋있네. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool, guys. This is cool. I thought it was not gonna be cool, but it's pretty cool. Oh, 맛있네, sorry. Oh, 맛있네. I read it wrong. 맛있네, but that works too. 맛있네. It's tasty. In Korean, is there a difference between by and until? By and until. Do you have an example? Like, do you have by? When is 까지 by? Like, do you mean like do your homework by 5 o'clock? Is that what you mean? Do your homework by 5 p.m.? 숙제 5시까지 해. So yeah, I guess this by is like until. It's kind of the same meaning in English too, no? Isn't it? Like do your homework until 5 p.m. No, I guess it's different in English. It's like by is like a due date. So yeah, 까지 has two meanings. It's like do your homework by 5 p.m. or like come here by 5 p.m. Like come here before 5 p.m. right? So that's like 까지. And then the other meaning of 까지 is like until. So until is like, what's an example? Come here. Does that make sense in English? Come here until 5. Does that make sense? No, come here by 5, right? Come here by 5. I work until 6 p.m. I need to finish this by 6 p.m. Oh yeah, I guess they are different. Yeah, so you're right, Pedro. I guess gaji in English splits up into 2 words. One is by, like do something by this time, or like I work until 6 p.m. So I work until 6 p.m. is like until. This until will be blue. 나 일 5시까지 해. Or no, wait, why did or to make it simpler, right? You don't need to say the so it's like until 5 o'clock work. It's like I until 5 o'clock work. 5시까지 일해. The closest thing in English I could think of is like, oh, that's a shame. 아쉽다. Yeah, 아쉽다. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. 아쉽다. It also ends in a ta, you see, 아쉽다. That's how you know that you're talking to yourself. When do we use Sino-Korean numbers and native Korean numbers? Can we use them anywhere we want? No, not exactly. So if you guys have no idea what she's talking about, Korean has 2 sets of numbers. Let me pull it up here. Alright, so here I just pulled up something from the internet. Korean has 2 sets of numbers. This is really annoying, but one is like native Korean and one is Sino-Korean. So we use the native Korean for counting things, you know? When you have like a bunch of marbles or whatever, a bunch of cows, and you're counting the cows, you say 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, blah blah blah. Like, oh, I have 10 cows. You know, we use the native, and then for everything else we use Sino-Korean numbers. For example, like the bus number. Like, I take bus number 100. You're like bus 100 번. Pon is like number. Oh man, I think the chat is like severely lagging behind again. I think it's like 30 seconds behind at least. Yeah, does that make sense? Like, so native Korean numbers is for just counting items, you know, counting, and then everything else is Sino. Phone numbers, bus numbers, you know, or like I don't know, like any numbers you see is Sino-Korean. There is one thing annoying with telling the time in Korean though. So let me show you right here. How can I show you this? Let's make this kind of like smaller. Okay, for telling the time, oh my god, it's pretty messed up. Like 5시 5분. Okay, for telling the time, the hours we read it in for the hours we read it in the native Korean numbers, and then for the minutes we read it in the Sino-Korean numbers. I have no idea why, but you see, so like for the hours we use the native Korean. So 9 o'clock would be 9시, 9시, 9 o'clock. Nine o'clock, and then 5 minutes. 9:05. 9 hours, 5 minutes. 5 o'clock. 5 minutes. We would use the Sino-Korean numbers. Alright, what is another Korean grammatical thing that exists only in English? Ah, here's one that's super common. It's quite hard to explain. Have you guys heard of this ending? Chana. Wait. Oh, now I'm seeing the chat. Oh my god, the chat is so slow today. For quantity, it's also native, right? For quantity, like a quantity of no, for quantity it's the native ones because it's like kind of like you're counting it. Anything you count it, then it's the native numbers. Like for example, I have 5 pencils. It's like 연필 5개 있어. 5개. Is there a point where there's too much quantity, it goes to Sino? Yes, actually, yes. When people count, to be honest, like we don't really use, see on the native side, we don't really use this 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 because it just becomes too many syllables. It's like, oh, 예순 여섯. It's like, that's like 4 syllables. 예순 여섯. Just to say 66. So actually, I like to count with the Sino. I don't know why we count with the native. So I just like to say 66. That's less syllables, right? This says less syllables. Everything is 1 syllable. So it is true. Like if you have like 1,004,463, you know, we're supposed to use native, but then we sometimes use Sino for counting. Okay, so anyways, for Chana, 네 Chana요. Listener and speaker both know, like you know. Yeah, kind of like that Chana. Man, this is like this kind of ending is found in Cantonese or like Mandarin or whatever, but in English it doesn't exist. Chana is like 이거 비싸잖아. 이거 비싸잖아. It's like this expensive잖아. It's like um well you know it's expensive. Like obviously you know it's expensive. Something like that. It's like uh it's like why are you telling me to buy it? You know and I know that it's expensive. That's what this chana means. I know there's like so much meaning within this one word. So you and I both know very well that this is expensive. Okay. Um how about like 이거 맛있잖아. Yeah, you and I both know this is delicious. 이거 맛있잖아. Something like that. Alright, how about like more it's like so many grammatical lists. Chana is like is in English? No. Chana is kind of like you and I know very well. So if I was to like translate this into English, like this. This tasty. I know that's very long. So this is what chana means. You and I know very well. Negative sentence using the same chana. Like negative sentence? What do you mean? Like 맛이 없잖아? 맛 없잖아? So 맛 없 is the opposite of tasty. This not tasty. It's like, hey, why did you buy these sausages again? 이거 맛없잖아 or 맛이 없잖아. Like you and I both know it's not tasty, you know? It's like, hey, why did you buy these apples again? 이거 맛이 없잖아. It's not tasty. We know that. We already know this. Yeah, exactly. So like we both know something. It's like obvious. So 원해 adds a slight tone of resistance or confrontation. No, 원해 is just desire. There's no deep meaning about it. It's just I desire ice cream. Like I want ice cream. Like think of something else you want. Like I want a TV. So TV 원해요. It's like I desire a TV. 우리들 사랑이 어렵잖아. Yeah, it's like our love is difficult, don't you know? 못 가잖아. Does this mean you and I know? Yeah, exactly. That's what it means. You and I know I can't go. Or like you and I know very well that we can't go. Or like it's not clear. Is it I or he or she or we? Because in Korean we don't say I, you, he, she. Oh, Chana. Chana is what you want. Chana adds a slight tone of resistance. Mm, maybe. Yeah, if it's like a negative sentence, then it's like kind of like you're resisting a little bit. But it's kind of like you're saying, why are you bringing this up? Like you and I both know it very well. Okay, bye Andy. Have a good time. 이거 안 맛있잖아. Oh yeah, that's the same thing as 맛이 없잖아. So like 안 맛있잖아. 안 맛있잖아 and 맛이 없잖아 is the exact same thing. 이거 안 맛있잖아. Or like 이거 안 비싸잖아. This is not expensive. And this isn't that expensive. You and I know that. That's pretty obvious. Yeah, guys. All right, guys. I think I gotta go early today. I have stuff to do, and I'm just gonna kind of end this stream here. I can't stream anymore on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock because like I have work now. My schedule is always so random. I don't have a set schedule yet, so I'm like hesitant to promise a time. But for now, Thursdays at 5 o'clock Vancouver time. What is that? PST time. I'm available. So 5 p.m. on Thursdays. On Tuesdays, I'm not sure yet, but at least once a week for now. I hope I'm like more free in the future to stream. But yeah, 5 o'clock PST time, Thursdays. Yeah, I'm just like testing out these like new stream things. This was like, oh yeah, no worries, Christina, no worries. Okay, thanks guys for joining. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Am I Korean? Yes, I am Korean. I'm Korean, but I grew up in Canada. Alright guys, see you later. Oh, I get to use my stream ending screen.